if this works, I think this might be the first time an image has ever been printed in the Antipodes Islands. Like, do you think anybody's ever got a fine art printer down to the Antipodes Islands before? Probably not. I've just left New Zealand on the Spirited Enderby with Heritage Expeditions, and we're heading south into the Southern Ocean to the sub-Antarctic islands. I've got with me on the boat an Epson P906 printer, and we're going to head down there and we're going to photograph on the Auckland, Campbell, Bounty and Antipodes Islands, come back here to the boat and print the images here on the boat in the middle of the ocean. It's going to be an extreme adventure. We've got 6 to 8 metre swells forecast tomorrow as we head out towards the Auckland Islands. I'm just out here on the back of the ship and I'm trying to capture some of these amazing waves. It's absolutely epic. There's gorgeous colour in the waves and I'm trying to capture that. I'm working with a 70 to 200mm lens here at the moment. I had my 300 on earlier and just trying to pick out the ones that are a little bit further away from the ship. I'm shooting really fast, at about 4 thousandths of a second to freeze all that wave movement. And I'm shooting between sort of ISO 400, ISO 800 at about f5.6 to f8, just to get enough light in to get sort of 4 thousandths of a second there. Well, this is certainly the craziest seas I've been in my life. We're out here in about 6 metre swells at the moment and we're going all over the place. Just rolling over these waves, one wave and the next. Just in my cabin and I'm having a quick look over the images I shot from the storm yesterday, and it was crazy out there. I couldn't film myself, like it was near impossible to film myself. I was out there, I had my arm wrapped around the railing, shooting with this hand, just swaying all about over the place, just trying to line up these waves as they crashed in over the side of the boat. And this is one of this really big wave, and it was just huge and it was breaking over. I showed this one to the captain of the boat and he called this one Blondie, so I think this wave's got the name Blondie. And then this area, there was this one area sometimes when they crashed over and you get this gorgeous deep blue water that was just absolutely amazing. And then there was this one shot that I got with this setter free coming over, just all starting to break at the same time. These 3 huge waves. I don't know how much we were tilting in the boat, but the boat was leaning over and it was pretty crazy being out there. But then there was this shot of this white-capped albatross and Cape Pigeon, and they just came across this wave just as it turned over, and you've got the blue side of the wave. It's almost an iceberg blue, these 2 birds in front of it, all the wind whipping out across the top of the wave. And I think that's a pretty special image as well. It just really captures that extreme ocean with the wildlife that's out there, and it puts a bit of a sense of scale, and I'm really pleased with that photograph as well. So I'm hoping that when we get a bit calmer weather, I can maybe get the printer set up here on the boat and print some of these images. It's going to be great to be able to print these here on the boat and hold them up against the sea. And I think even just being here, working over these images while still here out at seas, it's quite an immersive way to work and photograph, like being out in the landscape, processing the images, printing the images in the landscape you're shooting. We've now come down to the Antipodes Islands, and we've got some of the calmest weather we've had for days. It's pretty still out there at the moment. There's only a light roll on the boat. So we've just set up the printer on the front deck of the boat here, and I'm going to print off one of my wave images from the beginning of the trip. So we've got a box of traditional photo paper here. So sometimes you have one of these ideas that's just a little bit crazy, and this is probably the best weather we've had all trip. It's not too windy, but at least it's not raining and we haven't got waves coming over the front of the boat. So hopefully we can get an image off. There we go. It's official. You can, this is definitely going to be dented. You can set up an Epson fine art printer on a boat. We've got a few more images we're going to get printed off, but that's the first one off, and it's of those impressive waves from the start of the trip there. And Looks absolutely spectacular print. I'm just printing this image in my cabin, and we've got a bit of a roll on at the moment, and it's not half as bad as it has been at some parts of this trip, but we're sort of, yeah, the ship's not too stable. Wanted to see if the printer would actually work while we're at sea and we're rolling about. Probably not the recommended thing to do with a printer. Epson probably wouldn't recommend printing on a boat that's swaying side to side. I think you're meant to set them up on like level, stable, vibration-free work surfaces, which this is anything but at the moment. But it seems to be working, and from what I can see, the print quality looks fine. So I don't think it's actually having any effect on the printing at the moment. It seems plenty sharp enough. Bit of a roll there. So, pretty awesome. If I can just hold this upright, which is a little bit hard at the moment. That was on that first day of that white-capped albatross and that Cape Pigeon with those epic waves breaking behind, and the print looks great. Like I've got all that colour, that amazing colour that was in the sea out on that print, and I'm pretty happy with that, to be quite honest, and it will sit nicely with the rest of the collection of images from that morning. So we're now just heading back to Bluff where we started the trip, and I reckon this photograph was taken just here. I don't know that for sure, I don't have the GPS coordinates, but it was in this part of the ocean somewhere, on our way south, and the weather was very different. If you look at the ocean now, it's like a millpool out there compared to what it was like then. Beautiful sunny day. Still got a little bit of wind. I think there always seems to be a bit of wind around. Don't know if I can see the Cape Pigeon and white-capped albatross. There is a bird out there, but I'm not sure if it's a Cape Pigeon or not from here, but it could be the same one, couldn't it? Anyway, we managed to get the printer down here in one piece and get some images printed off here in the Southern Ocean, which was pretty awesome. Would I recommend taking a printer on a boat? Probably not a good idea. Definitely wouldn't recommend bringing the prints outside because they're just getting destroyed in this wind. But yeah, it's probably not the best place to be printing rocking about on a boat, and I don't know if it's really affected the print quality. This one looks alright, but to get optimum print quality, I think you want the printer nice and level and stable. But it's been great being able to print these images out in this landscape and getting them to that final print out here on the trip. If you're interested in joining me on another adventure, we're going to be heading with Heritage Expeditions down to Antarctica in February 2023 as well. And you can find the details of that over on our website, photographyworkshops.co.nz.